Did you know that the US government has been conducting military strikes on boats in the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean, and 199 people are now dead? Not soldiers, not armed combatants in declared war zone, but people on boats. I bet most Americans have not heard of this story. It's been happening for months, and the death toll crossed 199 this week. Tonight, I'm also telling you about the CIA officer who hid 40 million in gold bars in his home, a hunger strike at New Jersey detention center where migrants say they have been beaten, and a proposed $250 bill with Donald Trump face on it. Stay with me. If you have not subscribed, do it right now and hit the notification bell. New domestic news every Friday. Now, the story that broke the internet yesterday: David R. Rush, a former CIA officer with top security clearance, is accused of stealing hundreds of gold bars worth more than 40 million from the federal government and stashing them in his home. Now, this is alleged, but it is breaking the internet. He also has allegedly fabricated key parts of his education and military history. According to the criminal complaint filed in the Eastern District of Virginia, Rush worked at a CIA facility that handled precious metals as part of classified government operations. Over a period of time, he allegedly removed gold bars that facility from, piece by piece. When investigators searched his home, they found the gold. Hundreds of bars in his residence, the value more than 40 million, stolen from American taxpayers by a man the government trusted with its most sensitive secret. Now, Rush has been charged with theft of government property. He appeared in federal court in Alexandria, Virginia. He was denied bail. He is currently in custody at Alexandria City Jail. There's not a spy thriller. This is a real federal criminal case that raises a question no one in the government wants to answer publicly. If a man of top security clearance can steal 40 million in gold bars and nobody noticed it for this long, what does that say about the oversight of the people we trust with our most classified operation? Now, that question does not have a comfortable answer. Now, if you haven't subscribed, please do so right now. Share this episode. These are domestic stories that deserve more attention than they're getting, you can say. Now, the story that should be on every page in America is, and it's not on it, the death toll from the Trump administration months-long series of strikes against alleged drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean Sea and Pacific Ocean has risen to at least 199 people after survivors of recent attacks were not found. This is a military operation that Congress never voted on, the most Americans have never heard of, that has been running on for months. Here's what we know. The Trump administration authorized the U.S. military to conduct strikes on boats in international waters suspected of carrying fentanyl and other narcotics. Now, the legal authority cited existing counter-narcotics statute and presidential national security powers, not a formal declaration of war, not a congressional authorization, executive authority. The boats targeted, the administration says they were trafficking drug vessels. There's not been any independent verification of those claims have been possible because the strikes happened in open ocean with no journalists being present and boat occupants when they are survivors, and no one's brought to U.S. shore for any legal processing. Now, 199 are dead. We don't know their names. We don't know if every one of them was a drug trafficker. We don't know what happened to their families. We don't know whether any of them were fishermen or migrants or people who simply had the misfortune of being in the wrong place in international waters. We know it's 199, and that number crossed not from pages this week because CIA officers stole gold bars and the spelling bee happened and a rocket exploded. The government can kill 199 in a secret military operation in international waters without any congressional authorization, without independent oversight, without naming the dead. It's a government that has decided some lives do not require explanation. Now, I'm not willing to scroll past that number, and I don't think you should either. And just before we close, Delaney Hall, New Jersey, a GEO group-run immigrant detention facility. Relatives of detainees said the incarcerated migrants have been beaten and subjugated to pepper spray following a hunger strike by many inmates. Federal officials have denied the hunger strike is taking place. Family members of the detainees taking part in the strike have disputed that claim multiple times. And you know we have covered detention conditions on this channel repeatedly. The East Camp, Montana, 49 violations. The watchdog unit has been shut down. The pattern is documented and Delaney Hall is the latest chapter. And briefly, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent stood at the White House podium this week and held up a proposed $250 bill featuring the face of Donald Trump. Congress needs to pass a legislation for the bill printing. Now, the U.S. has never put a living president on a currency. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Alexander Hamilton, those are the faces on American money chosen specifically because they represent history, not current political power. A $250 bill will with a living president face. It's not a small thing. It's symbolically, it's a statement about who this administration believes belongs on the permanent record of American legitimacy. Congress has not passed it. Whether it does, it remains to be seen, but the fact that it was proposed and held up at the White House podium is worth noting. When oversight fails, money disappears into houses, people die in oceans without names, and being in detention facilities become, as he said or she said, between families and federal agencies. Accountability does not happen automatically. Someone has to demand it, and that someone, I believe, is you and I. Share this episode, drop a comment, tell me what story you're carrying tonight. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. New domestic news every Friday. Until next time, I leave you in the care of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Fi amanillah.